folks, and welcome to our normally Sunday class, but of course anytime you want to do it is fine. My favourite really combination of practices, an hour roughly of asana, of postures, and then half an hour of pranayama and meditation. So some external movement, some inner movement, and then some stillness. Ideally some stillness throughout the whole lot. In any case, work appropriately for how you're feeling today. Remember, you can take as many rests as you need, you can work as strongly as you need, but the intensity of the practice should be determined by your breathing. So if you can't breathe smoothly through the nose, both in and out throughout your practice, just take a little rest or take some simpler options, and just try to always find that balance in your practice between effort and ease. So we're not doing any more than necessary with the body to keep the mind focused. And in that way, we're always working in a way that's nurturing and beneficial for the body and mind rather than being harmful. And of course, observe the golden rule. If it hurts, don't do it. If you have any questions, please pop them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. I'd love to hear from you, even if you just want to say hi. And of course, if you would like to support me with a donation, there's a PayPal link in the description, but if you don't wish to or don't have the means to do so, please enjoy these practices as a gift from me to you. And with that being said, let's get started. So, beginning in child's pose. So toes together near the back end of your mat. Maybe separate the knees a little bit. Reach forward into your hands and stretch out into the fingertips. You might like to give your hips a little rock from side to side. And after another breath or two there, just tuck your toes under and add a stretch for the soles of the feet. Keep reaching the hands forward, the hips back. And you can turn the hands palms up if you'd like. If you've got the palms turned up, try to press the thumbs towards the floor. And in either option, try to keep softness around the back of the neck. Exhale one more time here. And after breathing out, make your way into kneeling plank. For the first couple of breaths, just let your head hang down. See if you can relax the back of the neck. And then come back to neutral. And take the left leg back, the right arm forward, maybe raising the left leg if you're comfortable. You can stay on the toe tip if you'd prefer. Take one more breath here. And after you breathe out, come back to kneeling plank and swap to the other side. So left arm forward, right leg back. Remember, right foot on the toe tip is fine. Try to keep the right arm strong, the neck in line with the rest of the spine. And after your next calm out breath, come back into kneeling plank. With the palms flat, just start to bring some movement into your spine. Try not to think about it, but just start to move intuitively. Just explore all the different directions your spine can move. Particularly take note of where it doesn't want to go today. And see if, as we go through our practice, you can start to free up some of those restrictions. From where you are, lift the knees a few centimetres. And then make your way back into a bent knee down dog first. So focus just on the length from your hands to your hips without the hamstrings being part of the equation. Soften the neck, roll the shoulders wide, and then see if you can perhaps make your way into full down dog. Check that the feet are hip width, the hands are shoulder width. And again, if you'd like, just bring some movement into that posture. I like to roll the hips sometimes or walk out through the knees, but you might prefer just to stay with the body static.
Keep the breath calm through the nose. And just exhale one more time here. And after breathing out, raise your heels and look forwards. And make your way lightly to the front of the mat and exhale. Then press your hips forward, stand up. Reach to the fingertips as you breathe in. And then lowering the hands, gently breathe out all the way. Hands to the heart. Take a breath in and lift up through the crown and collarbones. And soften the shoulders down as you breathe out. Then bend your knees. Come into Utkatasana, reach to the hands and inhale. Fold the body forward, hands to shins or mat and breathe out. Lift your collarbones, lengthen the front of the body as you breathe in. And then hands to the mat, make your way back into downward facing dog. Reach the right leg high, stretch up through the toes as you inhale. And step the right foot lightly forward into a lunge. Stand up in your lunge, lengthen to the fingers as you breathe in. And then hands to the mat, fold over the right leg and breathe out. Now bend the knee, take a smooth breath in, and picking up your right foot, step it back to downward facing dog. Now raise the left leg high, stretch out through the toe tip. And then step the left foot lightly forward between the hands. Try to place it without making a sound. Reach the arms high, lengthen into the fingers. And then take hands to the mat and fold over the left leg as you breathe out. Bend your left knee, take a breath in. And then picking up the left foot, try not to scrape the mat as you step back into down face dog. Stay there or make your way forward into plank. And smoothly lower down to the stomach or to the knees. If you're on the knees, take a cat stretch. Otherwise, lift chest and hands, maybe feet. And then press back from wherever you are and exhale in down face dog. Take a calm breath here and see if you can let the head just hang down a little bit further. Then raise your heels, look forwards and inhale. And walk, step or float feet to the hands and breathe out. Bend your knees, sweep your fingers along the mat, reach the arms high. And then straighten the legs, lower the hands and breathe out. Second cycle, again bend your knees, reach the arms up. Take a breath in, press the knees forward, heels down. Then fold the body over the legs, hands to shins or mat, your choice. Lift the collarbones, take a smooth breath in. And alternating feet, place the hands to the mat and make your way back into downward facing dog. From down dog, reach the right leg up and back and breathe in. Bend the right knee and turn to the side as you breathe out. Keep the left heel pressing down. Then level the hips, stretch out through the right foot as you inhale. And bring the right foot lightly forward to the lunge. Stand up in your lunge. Reach high to the fingertips as you breathe in. Bending elbows, take them down behind the back as you exhale. Then reach the arms high, take a smooth breath in. You can take them back a little if that feels okay. Then hands to the mat, fold over the right leg and breathe out. Just hold there for one more in-breath, lengthen the body forward. And as you exhale, see if you can relax the back of the body. Then bend your right knee, take a breath in, and picking up your foot, step it back into downward facing dog. Stay there and rest or make your way forward to plank and lower smoothly to the knees or to the stomach. You can use the knees to lower if you'd like. Lift the chest and hands, maybe the feet, or take up dog, your choice. And then make your way back into down dog and calmly breathe out. Take your left leg high, reach up through the toes. And keeping the right heel down, bend your left knee and open out to the side. Then level the hips, reach to the left foot once more and breathe in. And step the foot lightly forward to the lunge. Stand in your lunge, reach high to the fingertips. And bending your elbows, take the hands down behind the back as you exhale. Then reaching the arms high, stretch to the hands as you inhale, maybe looking up. Bring the hands to the mat and gently fold over the left leg as you breathe out. Again, take an extra breath here. Try to move the collarbones towards the foot. And as you exhale, just relax either the back of the leg or the body. Now bend your left knee, take a smooth breath in. And picking up the foot, make your way lightly back to down dog. Stay and rest or move forward to plank. And calmly lower down to knees or stomach. Keep the body in a straight line. Lift chest and hands or maybe feet, or take up dog, your choice. And make your way smoothly back to down dog and exhale there. Rest in down dog for a breath or two. Try to soften your exhalations. On your next in-breath, raise the heels and look forwards. And bring your feet to the hands and exhale. Bend your knees, come back to Utkatasana, reach the arms high. And straighten the legs, lower the hands and breathe out. Third cycle. Bend your knees, take the arms up as you breathe in. Then fold forward, hands to the mat or to the shins, your choice. Lift your collarbones, lengthen the front of the body as you breathe in. And then with hands to the mat, step back into downward facing dog. Reach the right leg high as you breathe in. Then bend the right knee open to the side as you breathe out. Level the hips, reach to the right foot. Step the right foot forward to a lunge, but keep your fingertips on the mat. On the left fingertips, turn to the right and reach up through the right fingers. You can look up if you're comfortable. And lower the right hand down and breathe out. Now smoothly turn to the left. Try to synchronize the breath and movement in some way. Lower the left hand and breathe out. Legs stay strong and steady. Bring the body up, reach to the fingertips as you inhale. Keeping the hips low, back legs strong, bend the elbows and stretch the triceps. Then reach the arms up and back, press out through the back foot and lengthen to the fingers. Bring the hands to the mat and gently fold over the right leg and exhale. And again, just take an extra breath here. Make sure the shoulders are nice and soft, maybe give them a bit of a roll. Then bend the right knee, take a breath in and pick up the foot and hover it. And then step it silently back into downward facing dog. Stay and rest or move forward into plank. Remember, you can rest in child's pose. Smoothly lower down to knees or stomach and exhale. Lift chest and hands, maybe feet, or take up dog, breathing in. And hold there as you breathe out and pull the shoulders gently back. Take another breath into the chest. Keep the face soft. And then press back into down face dog and breathe out. Now from your down dog, raise the left leg, taking the second side. Bend your left knee and turn to open to the left side. Right heel down, keep the hands evenly weighted. Now level the hips. Reach out through the left foot as you breathe in. And step the left foot silently forward between the hands. Fingers stay down. Turn to the left as you breathe in. Stretch out through the fingertips. And then gently lower the left hand down and exhale. Turn to the right as you breathe in. Lengthen through to the right hand. And bring the hand down and breathe out. Stand in the lunge. Arms high, breathing. Bend the elbows, hands behind the back, sink into the hips. Then reach the arms up and back, press out through the back foot and reach to the fingertips. And bring the hands to the mat and fold gently over the left leg. Again, take an extra breath here. Soften the body, but also soften your breath. Bend the left knee, pick up the left foot and hover it as you inhale. And then step lightly back into downward facing dog. Stay and rest or move forward into plank, maybe on the knees. Lower to the knees or to the stomach and exhale. Lift the chest and hands or maybe take up dog, your choice. Hold there, pull the shoulders back as you breathe out. And just one more smooth breath into the chest, keep the face relaxed. And make your way back into down dog and breathe out. Hold here for a breath or two. Try to soften the shoulders, the armpits, the back of the neck, the back of the hips. And after exhaling one more time, raise your heels and look forwards. And walk, step or float feet to the hands. Now bend your knees, come back to Utkatasana, reach to the fingers. Straighten the legs, lower the hands, exhale. And step your left foot back into Trikonasana. Reach the right hand down, the left hand up. And I just want you to stay in the classical variation today. Of course, if you need a simpler variation, just left hand onto the hip. Take a moment to look down and make sure that your head is directly over your right shin. And that should also mean that your hips are in line with your feet. Try to gently pull the front ribs in. Reach down through the right hand as much as you reach up to the left. Keep the face relaxed. Take one more breath here. And after you breathe out, keep the arms wide, bring the body up and reach into the fingers. Then bend into the front knee and slide the right foot forward and come into Warrior Two. Take a moment to look at the back hand. Make sure the arms are at the same height. And then look with a soft gaze over the right middle finger. Again, try to keep the body in one plane. Sink into the hips as you breathe out one more time here. Now bring the right elbow to the knee, the left arm high. And then as you breathe out, bring the left arm forward and make your way into Parsvakonasana, lengthening the left side body. Keep space around the neck. And try to lengthen all the way from the outer left heel to the left fingers. Either stay here, or if you can keep your body turned to the side, now bring the right hand down either to the outside of the foot or the inside of the foot. You can experiment with which feels better today. There's pros and cons to both. Take one more breath. If you haven't already done so, remember to smile. And then release the hands. Spin the back foot, take a breath in, and step the left foot to meet the right. Stand all the way up. Reach up to the fingers, maybe arching the spine a little as you breathe in. And then lower your hands down. And step your right foot back lightly into Trikonasana. So about a leg distance between the feet. And again, just the classical variation, left hand down, right hand raised. And really reach through the fingertips. Keep the shoulders away from your ears. Be conscious of keeping the front legs straight but not locked out. And remember, you can look up if it feels okay, otherwise just stay looking down. Keep space around the neck. Take one more breath here. And after you exhale, keeping the arms wide, bring the body back up, reach through to the hands, and then bend into the front knee, stretching your lunge out a little bit, and make your way into Warrior Two. Take a moment again to look at the back hand. Make sure that both arms are at the same height, shoulders down. Then again, look with soft gaze over the front middle finger. See if you can drop a little bit lower and keep the left knee over the heel, not dropping in. Sink a bit deeper for the last breath. Lift the arch of the back foot. As you breathe in, bring the left elbow down, the right arm up, and then take your right arm forward as you breathe out and make your way into Provisional Konasana, side angle posture on the second side. Remember, your left elbow is not a prop. You should be able to pick the elbow up without the body feeling any different, or let's say not feeling significantly different. Keep space around the neck and either choose to stay here or for the last couple of breaths. If you did first side, left hand comes down either to the outside or inside of the heel. You can experiment with both. Lengthen through to the fingers. Pull the front ribs gently back and take one more steady breath here. After you breathe out, take the hands down, spin the back foot to face forward, and then step the right foot to meet the left. Stand all the way up. Lengthen through to your fingertips and breathe in. And lower the hands to the heart and exhale. Now step your left foot back about a leg distance and a little out to the side of the mat. Bring hands onto the hips and pull the elbows back. Lift the collarbones as you breathe in, and hinging from the hips, keep the spine in a bit of a back arch, but bring the body forward. Try to stay looking down over your right big toe. Make sure your back heel is still down. The front knee straight but not locked. Either stay with hands on hips or interlace the hands and pull the shoulders back. Keep the breath calm. Exhale one more time here. And then release the left hand down, right hand to the hip, maybe left hand to the shin or the mat. And as you breathe out, turn your upper body to the right and come into Parivrita Trikonasana, reaching perhaps right hand high. Remember, you can have left hand on the shin or the foot or to the mat. Try not to move your legs from where they were. So the hips are still level, back heel down. And try to pull your right hip back a little bit to resist the tendency for it to move out to the right. Take one more breath here. And after breathing out, bring the right hand down and gently lay the body over the right leg to your comfortable capacity. You might like to take the right hand onto the hips for a moment. Just check that they're still level. Make sure the shoulders remain soft. Just a last breath or two here. After exhaling one more time, bring your hands back to your hips, press into your right foot, stand up using the leg and the back muscles, which is a bit more fun than using your hands. And then step the left foot to meet the right and gently breathe out. Now take your right leg back, so the second side. Check that the feet are about a leg distance apart and heels hip width apart. Turn your body to face forward, pull the elbows back, lift the collarbones, and then hinge from the hips. Start to move the body into a little forward bend from the hips, but the spine still in a little back arch. So we're just going really to where we start to feel the left leg stretching. Stay looking down. Keep the front leg strong, some weight in the back heel. Breath steady and calm. If you did first side, interlace the hands now, pull the shoulders back. See if you can find a little stretch for the front of the shoulders. Just a last breath or two here. Keep the legs strong, the hips steady. As you breathe in, release the hands, maybe left hand to the hip, check their level, right hand down. And as you breathe out, turn the upper body left, coming into Parivrita Trikonasana. Again, remember you can have hand to the shin if you need, hand to the foot, or hand to the mat on fingers or palm. Try to keep the left arm in line with the shoulders, so it's not somewhere back here or here. It's just reaching up and helping to turn the upper body. Keep space around the neck. Again, the left hip will want to poke out to the side, so try and pull it gently in and back. And take one more breath here, turning perhaps a little further. And release. Bring the left hand down. Again, you might like to take a hand to the hips for a moment, check that they're still level. And then let the body just fold over the left leg to your comfortable capacity. Remember, in all forward bends, we should feel like the collarbones and the crown are moving forward. So in this case, it's like you're trying to touch the head to your left big toe, which isn't going to happen, but that's the direction we're heading. Just a last breath or two here. Try to relax wherever you're feeling there's the most resistance. And after your next calm out breath, bring your hands to your hips. Stand up without using the hands for assistance. Use the left leg and the back muscles. Much more fun. And step the right foot lightly to meet the left. Backs of hands together, reach the arms high, stretch into the fingers and breathe in. Fold forward hands to the shins or mat and breathe out. That forward bend might feel a bit different now. Lift the collarbones, arch the spine as you inhale. And placing hands to the mat, make your way gently back into down face dog. Stay there and rest, or move forward into plank. And lower halfway down and breathe out. Take another breath in here. And then lower all the way to the stomach. Lift the chest and hands or take up dog, your choice. And then bring your knees to the mat and coming back into child's pose through the moving cobra. So nose to the mat and just glide back onto the hips. Coming back to down dog, lift the hips and breathe in. Moving cobra is a bit of fun. And press the heels to the mat. Take a calm breath here. And on your next in-breath, stretch out through the right leg and bring the right foot forward into a lunge. Bring the left knee down, turn the right foot out slightly, and then sink down onto your elbows if you can. Take one more breath here, not holding it for long. And after breathing out, bring your body back up, coming to almost like a one-legged up dog
Little Skandasana variation. And then with your left hand down, turn both feet to the right. So we're rolling to the outer edge of the left foot, right foot turned back. And then see if you can come into like a sideways up dog. So we're trying to bring the left hip towards the left wrist. Right hand's either resting on the knee or reaching back. Most of you will be feeling this in the outer right hip. Take one more breath. Bring the right hand back down, take a breath in, spin the feet, and picking up the right foot, step it back to down face dog. On your next in-breath, reach the left leg high, stretch out through the toes. Bring your left foot forward into a lunge. Then lower the right knee, turn the left foot out, and as you exhale, sink down to the elbows. If you can't quite get to the elbows, just do your best approximation. Just holding here for a couple of breaths. Try to relax the back of the left thigh and the front of the right hip. And after you exhale one more time, bring the body back up. So you're more in an upright position. And then with the right hand down, make sure you grip the fingers to stabilize the wrist. Turn both feet now to the left. Roll to the outer edge of the right foot. And turn the left foot out. And rest left hand on the right knee. And again, we're sort of bringing the right ribs towards the right forearm, I guess we could say. Either rest the left hand where it is or take it back and see if you can find some length in the left shoulder, which makes it a bit stronger through the legs and right arm. Take one more smooth breath. And then gently release. Bring the left hand down, take a breath in, and picking up the left foot, step it back to down dog. Raise the heels, look forwards and inhale. And walk, step or float to the front of the mat. Press the hips forward, stand up, backs of hands together, reach the arms high. And bring the hands to the mat and breathe out. Now step your left foot back about 1.5 meters. Turn the feet out 45 degrees. And with your hands to the heart, just sink down into the Garudasana position for a few breaths. And rather than holding this statically, I want you to just sway your body a little bit side to side. Try to keep the hips low, so we're not really lifting, we're not doing this sort of lifting up, lowering down thing, but rather the hips are just moving sideways, staying quite low. You should feel this through the thighs and the inner hips. Just a last breath or two here. Try to keep the hips no higher than the knees, ideally. Now gently bring your fingers to the mat. Spin your heels wide. Bring the feet parallel for a moment. Pause there. And then either stay where you are, or as you fold forward, walk the hands forwards a little bit. Try to take the crown of the head towards, or let's say the forehead more towards the mat, and the armpits towards the mat. Think of it like a wide-legged down dog. Take one more breath here. And after you exhale, release the hands back in under the shoulders, arch the spine, then turn your feet out once more. And see if you can start to slide the feet a little bit wider, keeping them flat. You might like to stay up on the hands for a couple of breaths. It's a little bit different.
If you're comfortable, you can gently lower to the elbows. And I just want you to hold here for a couple of breaths in your version of a side split, whatever that may be for you. Gently breathe out one more time. And after exhaling, just heel and toe the feet in a little closer. Bring your hands to the mat. Look forwards and breathe in. And bring the chin to the mat. Lift up onto the tiptoes. Float the feet together. And stand all the way up. Reach your arms high. Stretching up and back, breathing. Lower the hands and breathe out. And come to standing on your right foot. Let's bring the arms into Garudasana first. So reach wide, then take right arm over left. Remember, simple option here, give yourself a hug and lift the elbows, but otherwise bring left fingers against right palm. Lift the elbows, then see if you can pick the left leg up and take it over and wrap around the right foot or right calf. Try and sink a little bit deeper. Take one more breath here. Try to lift the elbows away from the body. Then unraveling your arms, release the left leg and hug the knee into the chest. Pull your shoulders gently down. And either stay there or those who are comfy, bring right hand to left ankle and see if you can wrap your left arm around the shin and hold the right wrist. Wherever you are, stand up as straight and tall as you can. Take one more breath. And release. We'll take the same on the second side. So standing on your left foot, reach the arms wide to begin with. Bring left arm over right. Again, simple option, give yourself a hug and with the shoulders down, lift the elbows. But if you can, bring left arm over right, then right fingers against left palm. Once you have the arms in position, bend the left knee, take the right thigh over the left, and see if you can hook your toes around the left calf. Try to take the arms away from the body further. Keep the thumbs pointing up, and gently sink into the hips. Take one more breath here. And after exhaling, unravel the arms and the legs. Bring the right knee up to the chest and hug it in as tightly as you can. Now it's fine just to stay here with the shoulders pulled down and the leg pulled in, but if you did first side, left hand holds right ankle, and we're trying to maintain our balance as we wrap the right arm around and hold left wrist with right hand. Any bind is fine, but that's what we're working towards. Try to stand up as straight as you can. One more breath. And release. Lower the foot down, give the knees a little shake, and just come back to the front of your mat. Breathe out all the way here. Then reach the arms high, lengthen to the fingers. Fold the body forward and breathe out. Lift your collarbones and inhale. And taking hands to the mat, come back to downward facing dog. Stay there and rest or move forward into plank. Stay there or smoothly lower down to the stomach. Lift the chest and hands, maybe the feet, or take an up dog variation. And let's do it again. Knees to the mat, nose to the mat, glide back into child's pose. Moving cobra. Then raise the heels, lift the hips, and come back to down face dog. And lowering onto the elbows. Either stay there or drop to the knees if you need. Those who are keen, walk the feet in and raise one or both legs. Wherever you are, reach out through the toes. Swap the legs if you're doing one at a time. Try to focus on opening the shoulders here. One more breath. And then gently lower knees to the mat, and everyone in child's pose for a couple of breaths. Slow your breathing down. Work by lengthening your exhalations. Make sure you're also softening the body. And after you breathe out one more time, gently sit back up and crossing the ankles. Come into a seated position with your left leg in front, or if you know your hips are a bit more open, you can stack the left shin on top. And take a moment to feel that the sit bones are fairly evenly weighted. It's nice just to rock side to side a couple of times. And then fold the body forward. So we're trying to bring, let's say, ribs to shins, might be a good way to think of it. But make sure you're not just diving your head down. We want to keep always this sense of the collarbones leading the forward bend. Just the last couple of breaths here. Try to soften wherever you're feeling the stretch, probably the back of the left hip, but it might be somewhere else. And after you breathe out one more time, see if you can take your body over to the right. So right hand goes out at about 90 degrees, left hand goes out to about 45 degrees. Start to walk the left fingers forwards away from the body. It should feel like you're trying to bring your sternum onto your right knee. Remember in these seated postures to try and keep your eyes closed whenever possible. Try to maintain your inner focus. And just take a last breath or two here. And after you exhale one more time, gently come back to the center. Then sit back up. Reach the arms high, stretch to the fingertips. Lower your hands down by your sides. And either just press into the hands for a moment and swap the legs, otherwise through fists or palms, pick up the hips, pick up the feet, hover there for a moment. Swap the legs and then lower down. And take a few moments to settle the body on the second side. Try to do the same type of seated posture both sides, paying attention to developing some sense of symmetry in the postures so that you can see if the body is balanced or not. When you're ready, start to bring the body forward. Again, with that sense of leading from the sternum, from the heart. Again, the crown of the head should feel like it's moving forward. So the back of the neck is long, the front of the throat is long. You're lengthening all the way from the tailbone through the crown of the head. Make sure the shoulders remain soft and moving out to the sides, away from the ears. Just the last breath or two here. Again, relax around the outer right hip or wherever you're feeling there's the most resistance. And after you breathe out one more time, take your left hand over to the left. Then take your right arm over at about 45 degrees. Try to keep your shoulders parallel to the mat. So we want to just have a subtle sense of twisting to the left. And try to get that sense once more of bringing the sternum towards the left knee. Try to walk your right fingers away from you. And just take a last breath or two here. And after you exhale one more time, bring the body back to the forward position. And then gently sit back up. Reach to the fingertips as you inhale. And lowering the hands down, exhale. Either just press into the hands for a moment and then stretch the legs out, or if you'd like, press into fists or palms, pick up the hips, pick up the feet, hover for a moment, then stretch the legs out and then lower down. And once you're seated comfortably, again, just rock side to side, freeing up the sit bones. Take your arms up high as you breathe in. And those who can easily do so, interlace the fingers and slide them around the heels. If that's not going to happen, just place hands next to the shins. And I want you to take a breath or two wherever you are, just pointing the sit bones back and rolling the top of your hips forward. Make sure your belly is soft here. We're not tensing the abdominal muscles. We can engage Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, without hardening the stomach. From there, as you feel the body starting to relax, you can start to fold a little further over the legs. Remember, if you're tight in the hamstrings, you can use a strap around the feet and take a more upright position. Just a few more breaths here. Make sure the soles of your feet are still parallel, so you're not letting them turn in, but rather keeping them as they would be if you were standing on the floor. Soften the shoulders. One more breath here. And after exhaling, gently sit back up. Reach to the fingertips and breathe in. Interlace your fingers, press up through the palms as you breathe out. Then pull the elbows back, lift the collarbones and inhale. And lowering your hands, take them back behind you. Either be on palms with fingers pointing forward or fists if you'd prefer. To begin with, pull your shoulders back, lift the collarbones up and find a stretch across the upper chest. It's enough to stay there. For an intermediate option, you can bend the knees with feet hip width apart, but ideally with the legs straight. Press into the hands and lift the hips high into Provisional. Maybe raise the face to the sky. If you're unsure, stay looking forward. Try to keep the stretch in the chest. Smile. Unlock the elbows and take one more breath. And then gently lower the body down. Now take your feet comfortably wide. So I don't want you to go towards or close to your maximum side split. Just go to a comfortable position, let's say somewhere around 90 degrees between the legs. And if that's too much, wherever you're comfortable is fine. Take a few moments there just with the hands behind you and roll the hips forwards and backwards a couple of times. And then just give your legs a little roll in and out. So just simple movements to help release any unnecessary tension from the inner hips. Now, keeping your legs as they are, take your hands either side of the right knee, turn the upper body to the right, and to your capacity, start to fold over the right leg. And that might mean you stay fairly upright. We want to keep again a sense here of the sternum pointing towards the right foot. Again, try to keep the shoulders essentially flat or parallel to the mat. So we're not sort of lifting the left and dropping the right or vice versa, but keeping it about the same distance from the floor. Take one more calm breath here. And after you breathe out, sit back up. Reach the arms up high. And take your body the other way. So start with the hands either side of the left knee. And then as you start to feel comfortable, bring the body forward over the left leg. And accept that the two sides may not be the same. One side may be significantly tighter than the other. Remember, your asana practice is a chance to get to know the body, all its little intricacies. Try to keep both legs just active enough for the knees to stay pointing up. Just a last breath or two here. After your next out breath, gently sit back up. Reach the arms high and take a breath in. Then take your right hand across to the top of the left thigh, turn a little to the left, and as feels comfortable for you, start to bring the right shoulder towards the right knee. And take, most importantly, left hand over towards right foot. If you're really comfortable, you can hold the foot, but that's not essential. We're focusing on a left side body stretch here, not a hamstring stretch. So see if you can keep turning your body up towards the sky. Try to pull your left elbow back to stretch more through the shoulder. And only if you're really comfortable there and holding the foot with the left hand, walk the right hand forward and then see if you can hold right inner heel with the right hand and open the body a little more to the side. Just take a last breath or two here. And after you breathe out, gently release. Sit back up. Reach through to the fingertips. Now take your left hand across to the top of the right thigh. Turn the upper body a little to the right, and then start to bring your left shoulder down towards the inner left knee. Again, just as much as feels comfortable for you. Turn your body a little towards the sky and reach out through the right fingers. And only if it's really easy, right hand holds left foot. Try to pull your right elbow back. And again, focus on the length in the right side of the body. Any hamstring stretch is secondary to that. Try not to hang the head excessively. So we're trying to keep the neck more or less in line with the rest of the spine. And only if you're quite comfortable with the right hand holding the foot, release the left hand, walk it forwards a little bit, tuck the left shoulder inside the left knee a bit more, and then left hand to inner left heel. Just the last couple of breaths here. A nice deep side body stretch. Exhale one more time. And after you breathe out, unravel. Bring the body back up. Reach through to the fingertips. And then either just take the hands behind you and press into the fingers. That might be enough, particularly if your back's starting to feel a little sore. If you're comfy, start to bring the hands forward. Again, make sure the knees stay pointing up. And slowly, gently start to bring the body further forward into Vishnu Konasana. So here we want to feel like we're bringing the stomach towards the floor, not necessarily the head towards the floor. Remember to listen to your body. If you're a bit tired, or if it's a bit cold, or if you're a little out of practice, don't expect to go as far as you normally would. At the same time, don't be held back by expectation. Some days you might find you can go a lot deeper into the postures than you realise. But do so with intelligence, with softness, and with awareness of your body and breath. Exhale one more time here. And after you exhale, gently sit back up. Pick up the knees. Hug them into the body. With your feet on the mat to begin with, squeeze your knees outwards against the elbows and then squeeze them inwards against each other. Then lean back, pick up the feet and find your balance point. And then close your eyes. Take one more breath here. And after you exhale, bring your feet to the mat. Lie down on your back. Lying down, just rest for a couple of breaths. Then take your arms out, making cactus arms, and we'll take a couple of crocodile twists just to help warm up the spine a little. So we might start with the legs out straight. Place the right heel between the left big and second toe. Take a breath in, and holding your breath, look left feet right, look right feet left, look left feet right, look right feet left, look left feet right, look right feet left. Come back to the center, breathe out, and swap your legs the other way. So trying to keep the shoulders flat, take a smooth breath in, and holding the breath, look left feet right, look right feet left, look left feet right, look right feet left, look left feet right, look right feet left. Feet up and breathe out and release the feet. Bend the knees. Just feet comfortably hip width apart. Take a smooth breath in here. Holding the breath, look left knees right, look right knees left, look left knees right, look right knees left, look left knees right, look right knees left, knees up and gently breathe out. And again like that, take a breath in. Holding the breath, look left knees right, look right knees left, look left knees right, look right knees left, look left knees right, look right knees left, knees up and breathe out. And last round, those who are doing stronger stomach work, bring the knees up high towards the chest. If that doesn't feel appropriate today, just keep the feet on the mat. And from wherever you are, take a breath in. And holding your breath, look left knees right, look right knees left, look left knees right, look right knees left, look left knees right, look right knees left, knees up and breathe out, and bring your feet back to the mat. And take your hands up towards the sky, press into your feet and lift the hips, coming into first bridge position. Keep the knees gently squeezing towards each other, and either stay there or make your way into second bridge position. Remember, if you're taking second bridge, to try to lift the collarbones. Take one more breath there, and either stay or take third bridge position. And just take one more breath here. And then release the body to the mat. Have a little rest. Give your wrists a stretch if you've been in third bridge. And then you've got the option to take first, second or third bridge, or lift to a back arch, either short duration, medium or long duration. So those who want to take a long back arch or longer back arch, you can lift straight up into Udva. If you want to take a medium or short arch, maybe just take a bridge to begin with. After your next exhalation, those who want a medium duration back arch can lift up. Otherwise, just stay in your bridge. And after the next out breath, those who want a short back arch can lift up. So nice little neck stretches if you're in the arch. And after your next out breath, gently lower down. Stretch the wrists once more if you've been in the arch. And then gently hug the knees into the body. So you can bring the knees as close or as far from the body as feels appropriate. Sometimes it feels better with them over the hips, sometimes a bit closer in. You can circle or pedal the knees, you can rock side to side. Just take any movements that feel good for you at this point in time. And keeping the hands loosely around the knees, lift your head just 10 centimetres. And as you breathe in, turn to the left. And then smoothly breathe out and turn all the way to the right. As you breathe in, come back to the centre. And take your head back to the mat. And again, lift the head just 10 centimetres. Turn to the right as you breathe in. And then smoothly exhale, turning all the way to the left. Then breathe into the right halfway. And take your head back to the mat. And take your arms and legs up. Give them a bit of a shake, letting go of any tension from the limbs. Some people call this the dead bug, but of course dead bugs don't move, it's a dying bug. And now roll to the right side. And gently sit back up. So prepare your seat for pranayama. Remembering that how you sit doesn't really matter, as long as you sit comfortably. You will have the opportunity to change your seated position. But try to pick something that is relatively comfortable so you don't have to fidget excessively. Remember, if you need to sit on a chair or a couple of bolsters or a folded blanket, that's fine. And remember, kneeling is sometimes a good option instead of cross-legged position. So do what feels right for your body. And once you have settled into your comfortable seat, we'll commence our pranayama with Agnisari, the fire breath, taking rhythmic abdominal exhalations. We're trying here to keep the upper lungs relatively still and just working with a deep abdominal exhalation. It should feel like you're pulling up through Mula Bandha, the pelvic floor, each time you breathe out. We're going to take cycles of 15 breaths through left, then right, then both nostrils. So the right hand comes into Vishnu Mudra. We curl the first two fingers in and keep the thumb and last two fingers extended. And we use the thumb to plug the right nostril and the ring finger to plug the left nostril. So ideally plugging from underneath, not pressing on the sides of the nostrils. Keep the left hand on the knee in Yan Mudra. And then close your eyes. Reverse the tongue by pressing it to the roof of the mouth or curling it further back if that's comfortable.
Take your inner focus down to the abdominal center. Take a deep breath in preparation, and see if you can lengthen from the tailbone to the crown of the head. Keep the spine long and light, and breathe out all the way. Squeeze the breath from the lungs. Now, with the chest still, breathe into the belly. Bring the right hand up to the face. Keep the chin down, plug the right nostril. And if you're not doing stomach work, slow breaths, otherwise 15 out left. Release the thumb and breathe into the belly. And plugging the left nostril as appropriate, 15 out right. Release the right hand and breathe in. And as appropriate, 15 out both. Come back now to relaxed abdominal breathing. Just allow the breath to find its own rhythm and see if you can follow it without needing to control it. So instead of an active focus on the breath, we're taking a passive focus. Feel the abdominal organs energized by the rhythmic breathing. Keep softening the face, the shoulders, and the hips with every out-breath. We'll take one more cycle, the same as the first. So again, bring the right hand to Vishnu Mudra. Keep the eyes closed, the chin to the throat, the tongue reversed. And your inner focus at the abdominal center. Breathe in preparation, lengthening from the tailbone to the crown of the head, Muladhara chakra to Sahasrara chakra. Exhale all the way, keeping that length, but soften the eyes, the mouth, the jaw, the shoulders. Empty completely, and then with the chest still, breathe into the belly and bring the right hand up. Plug the right nostril and as appropriate, 15 out left. Release the thumb and breathe in. Plugging the left nostril, 15 out right. Release the right hand and breathe in. and 15 out both. Come back to relaxed breathing. Again, just letting the breath find its own rhythm at the abdominal center. Keep the mind following the rise and fall of the breath, but letting go of any sense of control or involvement. Lift and lengthen with each in-breath, soften and relax with each out-breath. As you inhale, focusing prana vital energy at the abdominal center, Manipura chakra. With each exhalation, a sense of radiating that energy out from the abdominal center through the whole body. Whenever you notice your attention wandering off to past or future, just acknowledge what it was that distracted you. And then simply come back to observing your breath without frustration, without distraction. Just observe that simple, singular inner movement. If you'd like to change your sitting position, now is a good time to do so. Otherwise, just turning your hands palms down as we make our way into Bhastrika, the bellows breath. So here, more or less the opposite of Agnisari, focusing on inhaling to the upper lungs, keeping the lower belly relatively still. There's no abdominal restrictions, but it is important to keep a good Jalandhara Bandha, so a good chin lock. And if at any point you start to feel dizzy or faint or like you're getting a headache, just come back to relaxed breathing. So again, settle the body, close your eyes, keep the tongue reversed, and move your inner focus now up into the heart space, Anahata chakra. Again, cycles of 15 rhythmic breaths to the chest through both nostrils. In preparation, take a smooth, deep breath in. Filling and expanding up to the top of the lungs. With the spine tall, gently breathe out. Relax the face and shoulders. Keep the chin to the throat. Exhale fully. And with the lower belly gently back. 15 breaths into the chest. Breathe out all the way. And then simply come back to relaxed breathing. Let the breath settle back to the abdominal center, but keep your focus in the heart space. Feel the lungs energized by the rhythmic breathing, stimulating the cardiovascular system, but on a more subtle level, stimulating Anahata chakra, the seat of the self. Notice the breath becoming increasingly subtle. The inner dialogue of the mind receding into the background as your awareness rides the breath. In a moment we'll take a second cycle of Bhastrika, this time with a little internal retention after the 15 breaths. So again, eyes closed, chin to throat, tongue reversed. Breathe in preparation, lift and lengthen from tailbone to crown of head. With the spine long and light, breathe out all the way. Soften the face, soften the shoulders. Keep your focus in the heart space. With the belly gently back. 15 into the chest. Empty the breath completely. And now slowly but deeply breathe in, filling first down to the bottom corners of the lungs. Then take the breath up and out into the side ribs. Breathe up through the center of the chest. And take the breath up high to the collarbones and upper back. And then lock the breath in the heart space. Intensify the chin lock and the root lock. Try to expand outwards in all directions from the heart space. Now smoothly and calmly empty the breath completely. And then once more come back to relaxed breathing. Breath at the abdominal center, inner focus in the heart space. Keep the spine long and light, the face and the body relaxed. Start to become aware of the gaps between breaths, the silence between thoughts. All movement arising from stillness and returning to it. And we'll take one last cycle of Bhastrika to complete our fast rhythms for the practice. Take a breath in preparation. And then gently breathe out all the way. Chin to throat, belly back, tongue reversed. 15 into the chest. Exhale all the way. And then again smoothly but deeply breathing. Fill down to the bottom of the lungs. Fill up through the sides of the waist and the side ribs. Fill through the center of the chest into the front and back ribs. Breathe up to the collarbones, to the top of the shoulder blades, and breathe right up to the throat. At the end of your in-breath, lock the breath in the heart space. Intensify the chin lock, Jalandhara Bandha, the root lock, Mula Bandha. Soften the face and the shoulders, but expand upwards and outwards in all directions from Anahata Chakra. As long as you're comfortable to do so, holding just a little bit longer. If you need to release, do so. And now calmly empty the breath completely. And come back once more to relaxed breathing. For some of you, perhaps the breath becoming very, very subtle, barely moving. The mind dissolving in stillness as it merges with the breath. Always bring the wandering mind back to your breathing without frustration, without involvement, but simply becoming familiar with the patterns of the mind. If you'd like to do so, change your sitting position again as we prepare for our slow rhythm, our final pranayama for the practice. Today we're going to take Samavriti, the prana square, with a little moving hand mudra. So we're linking the subtle movement of the breath with a subtle movement of the body. So Samavriti, even movements, balancing the 4 phases of the breath cycle. As we breathe in, we're going to take thumb and first finger to touch. As we hold the breath in, thumb and middle finger touch. As we exhale, thumb and ring finger touch. And as we hold the breath out, thumb and little finger touch. So it's inhale, hold, exhale, hold. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. So I'm going to count the first few rounds with a 5-second basic count. It's sort of a comfortable starting point for most people. And then you can continue at your own pace after that. Remembering always never to force the breath. So you can always shorten the rhythm if necessary, or come back to relaxed breathing if you start to feel stressed or if the breath starts to feel stressed. So close your eyes. Take your inner focus now into the eyebrow center, Ajna Chakra. In preparation, take a breath in, lift and lengthen the spine. And then calmly and gently breathe out all the way. Keeping the tongue reversed and chin to throat. Smoothly but deeply breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Change fingers and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Change fingers, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. Change fingers and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Index finger, breathe in. 2, 3, 4, 5. Middle finger, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ring finger, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. And little finger and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Index finger, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's breathe in. Middle finger, hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Ring finger, breathe out. 2, 3, 4, 5. and little finger and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5. Index, breathe in and count to yourself now. So those of you who know you have a longer breath cycle can extend the rhythm to 6 or 7 or whatever's appropriate for you. If you need to drop the rhythm back to 4, that's fine. If you need to come back to relaxed breathing for a few cycles, that's also fine. With regular dedicated practice, extending the breath much, much longer, but be patient. Never stress the breath, never stress the nervous system. If you're comfortable to do so, you can intensify Mula Bandha, the root lock, on the internal retention and perhaps hold it for the exhalation. If you're very comfortable with Uddiyana Bandha, you can take it on the external retention, starting maybe every second or third cycle and working up to every cycle. Try to maintain a smooth, even quality to the inhalation and exhalation. So the breath is consistent from the very beginning through the middle to the very end. And if you'd like to do so, for the last minute or so, let the counting drop away and just sense your breath. Maintain approximately the same rhythm, an approximate balance of the 4 phases of the breath, but without the need to count, just focus on further refining the quality of your breath. And as always, when the mind drifts off, which it will do, don't get frustrated, but simply choose to return your focus to your breathing and maintain that steady inner dharana, inner one-pointed focus to the best of your ability for the last minute or so in Samavriti pranayama. Without rushing, finish the cycle you're on and just come back to relaxed breathing. Let the breath become very, very subtle. The mind dissolving in stillness. Rest in the clear space of consciousness. Either stay seated or lie down for Shavasana if you'd like. Try not to disturb the body more than necessary if you're changing position. And then just come back to effortless stillness. Calm space of awareness. Your fundamental nature of peace, of joy, of love, of all the things we seek outside of ourselves, which are ever present within, but usually overlooked by the busyness of the mind. Come back to the sense of simply being. Sarva Mangala Mangalye Shive Sarvata Sharike Sharanye Triambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Om. Stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. When you do decide to move, start just by very slowly reconnecting with breath, then the subtle movement of fingers and toes, wrists and ankles. But if you have the opportunity to stay longer, do so. Take the opportunity out of the busyness of life to rest. And as always, thank you very much for sharing the practice with me and allowing me to share it with you. Thank you for your ongoing support in allowing me to share with you. And of course, if you have any questions, let me know. And otherwise, thank you once more for joining me. And I look forward to sharing with you again soon. See you next time.